all conferences, and we are here with Vladimir Malakchi of Xanada Investment. Vladimir, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting. It's always a pleasure for me to speak here.
You know what, Vladimir, we were talking earlier and you've mentioned you've attended other SiGMAs for years now. Tell us about it, because we're celebrating 10 years now, and it's really interesting to meet people like you who've been there from the beginning. Tell us, what can you say about SiGMA Europe now in its 10 years?
So I started meeting SiGMA, I think like 7 or 8 years ago when it was connected to crypto industry, and I remember when the conference was in Hilton. It was a small one, very cozy, a lot of like business-oriented people. It's like I think 3 or 4 thousand of people maximum. But even that time, I understand that this event is going to grow because I've seen it one year by year. And then when I joined the iGaming industry, and I've seen it with a huge growth, and Eman called me like, bro, like there is a VIP invitation, come in. And I realized that it's much huger than it was before. So it's very nice to see how it grows, because now, as I told before, I'm even lost inside. I didn't have a map with me, like, wow, assistant is calling me, we have interview here. They're like, give me 5 minutes, I will find how to exit the conference and to come to Midland. It's cool. It's very nice to see that not only the whole industry is developed, but also key players of the industry is developed. And I really recognize SiGMA is one of the key players of the industry, because it's given a lot of options and opportunities for people to meet each other, to speak, and also it's very big gift for the Malta itself, because 35,000 of people came to one small island, book everything around, all the restaurants, all the hotels. I think it's very cool that such conferences have the place in not big locations, and they're given this kind of development as well. So everybody can feel that iGaming is not only develop itself, but also helping the countries to develop.
It's so great to hear stories, from people like you who've experienced a SiGMA from years ago and now until it's 10 years and beyond. Because, you've mentioned 3,000, 4,000 people from 8 years ago, and now it's tens of thousands.
I think really, yeah, 30 plus.
Yes, 20 plus thousand people here, and we're gathering together. What can you say about, what have you observed from your years of experience, the growth of the gaming industry here in Europe?
For me, SiGMA was a kind of place of meeting friends and also the closing of the year. Because at the end of the year, nobody wants to discuss a kind of new partnership for this year, but everyone is thinking about starting thinking about the strategic develop of how the new year is going, because everyone is planning in November the budgets, the new strategies, some strategic sessions itself, and that's when everybody is meeting with a business view, and everybody is sharing how it goes. And this event is giving an option between a lot of huge companies to share it one with each other, and I think helping to adopt their strategies for next year, and also start a new partnership for year and year going. So this is what I'm thinking about. So meeting friends, some this middle vibe between very business oriented and a kind of cozy friendship.
Now, Vladimir, I wanna pick your brain, because you have years of experience in investing. What can you say are the trends in terms of the early stage investments right now?
I think I was starting talking about this 5 years ago, and it's continue to grow in anything about, let's call it entertainment level. Because at the end of the day, iGaming is not about starting and playing slots or something like this. It's about giving the level of entertainment to the customers, because most part of the people, they are coming to relax here. And the goal of each product inside the industry is to give this new experience of relaxing. And I think right now the main trends is about this gamification around the casinos, betting, even the payment, which is like different and weird, but even the payment are trying to give some additional gamification things for the customers to feel them better. So for me, from the investment point of view, everything that is connected to entertainment and rising of this, and also optimizing the UI UX side is very trendy now, but it's influenced all the products. Because if we're taking the casino, for example, itself, which is working on entertainment and or using any kind of outsourced product for this, it will become trending because it's taking the meta inside the core of the product. So for me, what we're looking now, we're looking for experienced teams which are open to new things, to find the new ways of entertain the customers, new ways of cooperation with the partners. Because when you're working with entertainment, it's not only about the end customers, it's also about your partners, how you work with them, how you speak with them, how you preparing the merchandise for them, the presents, the events, whatever it is. So for me, from the trending, it's everything about gamification of all the level of products.
All right, gamification really it's a big trend now, as you've mentioned. I want to ask about your thoughts on emerging technology, maybe AI, blockchain, crypto. What's your thought on those?
The main problem of these technologies that people are starting using it just to put the words AI and blockchain, but there are still diamonds inside of it, because both blockchain and AI can add a huge value to the product. Even if we're speaking about gamification itself, if it's based on AI, because all the gamification is based on the data and based on the behavior of the users. And no one person in the world can work with the same speed as AI when we're speaking about analyzing something. If you're using AI to analyze the data and to make the segmentation of the users, preparing them very personal propositions, of course it will lie, because I don't know, I'm very big fan of motorbikes. And if something around going with proposition of motorbikes for me inside the casino, of course it will catch my eye, because I've already fan of one industry and another, and it's like an emergency. I don't know, you're a fan of some fashion, for example, and if the product will be like proposition will be based on this, the whole images, everything will be based on this, of course it will be better. That's the same with the budget. Somebody earns like 50K in the year, somebody earns 200K in the year. Of course the propositions should be different for them, because you can't propose for a person who earns 50K, you can't propose the same what you're proposing to a person with a 200K, because it will be difficult and it won't be good proposition for the person. So it needs to be adapted. And for me, AI is given an option to best analyze of the audience and to find the best proposition, which not harm the people, but really given the enough proposition to have a good level of entertainment.
All right, that's very very interesting, because we're seeing how companies are tapping into these technologies, these innovations. Now I want to ask your outlook for the iGaming industry, for the market as a whole, for 2025.
What I'm seeing for last years, the first, of course, like everyone knows from all the analyticals, CAGR of the market is more than like from 13 up to 17% from year to year. It's amazing growth, and it's going to be growth like until 2030 at least. It's understandable, but what I'm seeing the big impact is responsible gaming and especially regulations. But I hope that regulations will come in a normal way, because I'm seeing a very big potential in markets like Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, and as I see the new regulations are speaking, there are a lot of rumors about that regulations are coming. The Brazilian market shows us how regulations can be implemented very professionally and with the reaching goals for operator and the regulators itself. So it's defending the players from one angle and it's also given the advantage to operators to work on this clearly without any circumstances, without any obstacles, and so on. So for me, if we're speaking about the development of the market, I'm seeing that a lot of emergency market like Africa, Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, India, they're speaking about development of regulations in this market. And from my point of view, like 2025, 2026, and even 2027 will bring us a lot of surprises from these markets because the volume of these markets is huge. And if regulators inside these countries will manage to do it, it will open like a lot of new markets for the players from other regions, so they can enter these markets without any problems and can operate easily. So I hope that it will come as soon as possible.
Very, very interesting insights there, Vladimir. I want to go back to one point that you actually mentioned. It's responsible gaming. You've mentioned that. And I want to ask how important it is for industry leaders like you that we discuss this stuff. How important is responsible gaming for the whole industry?
It's coin flip because it's very depends how this responsible gaming is done. I don't want to blame many countries publicly, but there are a lot of countries which are overwhelmed with responsible gaming and it destroying the user experience. It's very important to implement responsible gaming with a balance of user experience of playing and not destroying the whole market. Because if you overwhelm with this and you start destroying the market, it will create the growth of black market. So if you want to make the responsible gaming on the right way, you need to be balanced and you need to speak with the key players on the market to understand that it won't harm the market. And if we're speaking about such responsible gaming, I assume it's very important because it's given a lot of options for everybody to avoid harm for the people who are like have some problems with the playing. And but from another point of view, it's given a lot of opportunities for players who are okay with this, who wants to entertain, and for whom this is a good time of keeping time entertainment time. So if we're talking about this responsible, I think for the industry it is very good, and I hope that government will continue working with the iGaming players and developing it in the right way. In this case, the market will grow, the taxes will grow, so everyone win from this.
That's true. Now, my final question to you, what's your advice for those watching right now who are, aspiring entrepreneurs, businessmen? What do they need to focus on?
They need to focus on the things that they really knows how to do. They have experience in do. And also, I always trust that to build anything good, you need to find a good partners. I don't trust for last 10 years that the business is built by your own. It's much better to build a business with a good partners. And to look at these partners, you need to come to such events like SiGMA to speak, to check the reputation, to find the good funds for them, because funds have a lot of experience, a lot of partnerships, a lot of value, and it's much easier to focus on your product, because when you focus on your product and you build it on your own, you need to focus on the product, on the business, on the sales, on the money track, and a lot of stuff. When you have a lot of key partners or some key partners whom you can trust and who has good reputation and can help you, you can focus on what you're experiencing and give an option to other to help you with which they experience on. So at the end of the day, its synergy is building the huge business.
Right. Finding the right partners here at SiGMA. You're Vladimir Malakchi of Xanada Investments. Thank you very much for
Thank you, Aladdin.
being here.